And we'd like Anthony Pratt to come up and give us an update on INRange.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and TechQuest's invitation. It's a great opportunity for us. I hope you'll find some of the technology that we're bringing to the marketplace of value to you. Before I start, I wanted to thank a couple of folks. Our early investors, Ben Franklin Partners, was involved in INRange Systems really from the beginning, and also the Life Sciences Greenhouse of Central Pennsylvania was one of our largest shareholders prior to our venture capital funding, which we received in December of 2008. Let me say that again, received venture capital funding in 2008. So the opportunity we think is immense, and it's homegrown here as our headquarters is in Altoona, Pennsylvania. What we're looking to address is what we perceive as the crisis in healthcare with the number of medications and medication errors that are being experienced throughout the country, the growing caregiver shortage that we have across the country, and a shortage that's only getting worse as we get our patients, our population gets older, and less individuals are willing to enter into the healthcare, especially the nursing field. We're under mounting legislative and judicial mandates to maintain comprehensive medication and documented medication administration records. We have a rising aging population, and certainly a pronounced increase in disease as our population ages. The treatment really is the pill in the medication. In fact, most of the treatment I would submit to you that really happens outside of the facilities as the patients are home getting treatment with their medication. What did I turn it off? Okay. In fact, that's where we see the issue, and I probably should back up for just a second. Emma, by the way, and the reason I jumped up earlier is because Emma was beeping, and I didn't want to disturb the speakers. Emma is an electronic medication management assistant, and it's a system designed to go into the patient's home to manage their medications. And what we see as the disconnect here is between the hospital and transitional care stages where you have a comprehensive medication record, or at least that's certainly the objective, is to maintain that. It's certainly now the objective to make that an electronic version as opposed to a paper version. But then when the patient actually goes home, all of the communication really and all the information flow stops. So the compliance and adherence is at best uncertain. Usually when the doctor says, you know, you're up 6 pounds in your weight and it's a CHF patient, and have you been taking your Lasix? You get the big lie, oh yes, doctor, I've been taking. Well, there was really no way for the doctor to know if they've been on their regimen, and Emma would provide that information. The telemetry devices do provide some of that information. Again, if that scale was being utilized, they would be able to anticipate a potential problem in that CHF patient as weight's gained. But there's no ability to actually enact treatment. And with Emma, you'll see that actually has the ability to remotely enact treatment and adjust medications by the physician and the pharmacist. A few more statistics. 60% of patients are non-compliant with their drug regimen. Actually, 23% of Medicare emergency room visits are due to adverse drug events. The annual cost of these annual adverse drug events is over $200 billion. So when in the stimulus package they look to save 12, I think we can do better than that. If we have better information flow, I think we're going to see significantly more savings than simply $12 billion. There is no treatment documentation, so there's again, the flow of information has ceased to come back. And a big issue in pain management and other disease states, mental health, is there's no narcotic control. So there's no ability for the clinical team to control the narcotics. So what we set out to do, the cardiologist, Dr. Marianne Papp, that founded INRange, is to basically model the system after the acute care system, where you have individual unit dose management, but have it in an outpatient setting. And currently there are several devices out there which are Class 1 medical devices that are reminder systems or convenience devices. But up to this point, there really hasn't been a Class 2 medical device specifically for remote medication management. And that's what EMA is. We received our FDA clearance in July of 2007. We then proceeded to tool for manufacturing and started deploying last year in the spring of 2008 with a pilot program down at Brooke Army Medical Center, and we're now at Walter Reed, and we just are entering the commercial market, really just started in January of 2009. EMA, which I did bring a unit with me, you can see it during the breaks or whichever, is basically a wireless communication device that has a built-in CPU that actually manages all of the patient's medications. The pharmacist, when they package the medications, instead of providing an amber bottle, they basically package the medications into a blister card, fairly standard compliance packaging. The blister card is inserted into EMA just like a CD goes into a car stereo. The pharmacist has already loaded the SIG information, basically the dosing schedule for the medication, and that's been communicated, and EMA pulls in and retrieves that data on a regular basis. So when this card is inserted into the device, whether it's by a caregiver or by a patient, it's really designed for patient self-load. The barcode is read off the blister card. It matches it up against the SIG that's been downloaded, and from that point forward, EMA will manage the patient's medications for them. It is designed in what we're using it for in the warrior transition units, our soldiers coming back fighting the global war on terror. And the signature wound of this war is traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder. And the complex cocktail of medications that they're on in order to treat the symptoms of this, the soldiers are literally medicating themselves into a coma. And actually January was the first month that there were more soldiers died from medication misadventures than died in combat. So this is a serious issue for them, and they're utilizing EMA to help manage those in the transitional care. One of the key components, of course, is because of the wireless communication feature, EMA communicates back every interaction with the machine. So the constant flow of information continues to come back so that the doctor can see, and I'll show you a sample of the EMR that's available. What we've also done is we've managed to put the product into so that none of the clinical team really has to change their current practices, which is, we're all aware, is very difficult to get them to do. So the doctor still writes the script. Hopefully that will be an e-script soon. Sends it to the pharmacy, communicates that to the pharmacy. As I said, fills the blister card, and if they were in a transitional care or in an institutional type setting, those cards usually are pushed around the floor by a nurse, and at the appropriate time their medications are administered by a nurse or a LPN to the patient. All we simply do is replace that need, because we certainly can't continue to treat all of our elderly in institutional settings. It's just not economically feasible We're going to have to push treatment back out into the home where it belongs and let these individuals take it from there.